coronavirus outbreak emergency. The September 16, 2020, 7 o'clock p.m. public meeting of the Norfolk Zoning Board of Appeals shall be physically closed to the public to avoid group congregation. Alternate public access to this meeting shall be made utilizing the Zoom virtual meeting software for remote access. The software will allow users to view the meeting and send a comment or question to the chair via the raise your hand function, which you'll find in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. The meeting will be recorded for future rebroadcast with the Norfolk Community Television. At this time, it is now 7:06 p.m. We have a public hearing for 30 Birch Road. Joe, would you mind reading into the record the notice of public hearing?
Chris, I don't have that right now. Could I have somebody else read that in for me?
Amy, you want to put up a screen?
Amy, you're on mute.
Okay, guys, I need a minute because I'm having some difficulty. All right, I just unmuted. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
I'm having some difficulties. Okay, I need just a minute because I'm having some difficulties. All right, I just unmuted. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
I'm having some difficulties.
Oh boy. Yeah, and I apologize, Chris. I didn't get a copy of the notice of hearing. I'm sorry.
I'll go get it, Chris. All right.
I'm back now.
I'm going to go in and get the...
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I can grab it if you want.
No, I'll get...
I just, from doing what we did before, I had NCTV was still open.
Can you see that, Joe?
Yeah, I can see it. I can read that now. Okay. Notice hereby given in accordance with Chapter 48 of the Massachusetts General Laws and any amendments thereto, and in accordance with the Governor's Order suspending certain provisions of the Open Meeting Law, General Law, Chapter 38, Section 20, relating to the 2020 novel coronavirus outbreak emergency, that a public hearing will be held by the Zoning Board of Appeals on September 16, 2020. This meeting shall be physically closed to the public to avoid group congregation. Alternate public access to this meeting shall be made utilizing the Zoom virtual meeting software, https://zoom.us for remote access. The meeting will be recorded for future rebroadcast by Norfolk Community Television. Oliver Gaster at 7 p.m. for a special permit pursuant to Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 48, Section 9, as amended, and Section F4A of Norfolk zoning bylaws to allow the alteration or enlargement of an existing non-conforming structure which does violate the setback, coverage, or height requirements of Section E1B, but does not violate those requirements to a greater extent than the original structure. The property is located at 30 Birch Road, Assessors Map 19, Block 62, Lot 42, in the R3 zoning district.
Thank you very much, Joe.
Yes.
All right, Oliver, welcome this evening.
Hello, thank you.
Why don't you give us a little background to what you're planning on doing?
Yeah, sure. So as you know, I'm the primary resident at 30 Birch Road. I've been the owner there since 2016. Our plan right now is my wife Camilla, and I had a child, Milo. And we're planning to add an addition to our home to make it a larger home. And as stated in the bylaw, we're not trying to change the non-conforming structure to further violate the existing violation of setbacks. We're just going to be, we're attempting to build and renovate and add a second floor for additional livable space within the parameters of the requirements, connected to our septic system, that it only allots for 2 bedrooms. So I know we had that change that we needed to make sure that we were not adding that 3rd bedroom. And I think we established that by making sure that we added the double set of doors to the downstairs living space to make sure that we're staying within guidelines.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, questions from the board. Anybody have any questions for Oliver with regard to this? So Oliver, I guess I'll start off as you're basically the footprint as you identified in your application is not changing, but it appears as if you're adding about 42 square feet to the left side of the home. Is that correct?
Okay, yeah, that's correct. Actually, we are removing. There's an existing deck in that area, so it's an outdoor deck, and we're going to be removing a partial and adding a laundry room.
Okay, but that again will not violate the setbacks any greater than what the existing home does already, correct?
Right. It's kind of like the house is a rectangle except for that space, and there's kind of like a beam instead of an existing footprint of foundation there. So we're removing kind of that little deck area and just making it a full rectangle.
Okay.
Is there a physical plan we can have on the screen, Amy?
Sure, yes. Amy, you want me to get it or you want to get it? I can get it. I'll get it. Oops,
Actually want his house location plan. I think that's the next one.
next
That
one.
one, pretty good. I think you have one back,
Oh, I go too far.
maybe. He's got a decent one right there. Oop, he just had it again. Nope. Go one forward then. One more.
Yeah, house location plan.
There you go. So on Joe, you can see up you, I guess you could say it's the lower right side is where he's adding the square footage, but again, it's within the setback, existing setback.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions from the board members?
Looks like a nice plan. Looks like it's primarily just to get that second floor in. So it looks like a nice plan.
Right, right. Good to see him staying in town and adding up. Don, you have any questions?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I had looked at this whenever we first got it, and I think it was one of the most complete expansion plans for non-conforming that I've seen in 6.5 years on the ZBA.
Thank you.
So
Mike, any
Makes-
questions? Yep, go
makes,
ahead, Don.
makes our job easier.
That's right.
No, we're going to be looking for some new board members down the road. If Oliver's interested, may want to talk to us.
Cool.
There you go.
Make that part of the permit.
Wait your 21 days and you can jump on. How's that?
Okay.
Josie, any questions? And
Sounds like a good plan.
Devin, anything?
I just want to echo what Don said. It makes it much easier when you have a complete set a package like this, all the plans put together nicely, and makes it much clearer.
Yeah, my the contractor has definitely done a great job with that. We worked on this house behind me right here. We worked on this house in 58 Tri Street in Ashlands. I've worked with this guy before, and he's done a great job. So that's why I'm going forward with him again.
Great. Very good. Just, make sure, I know I couldn't tell if you're going to add any kind of outside stairs at all. Just be careful of setbacks with regard to any outside stairs that they don't encroach into the setback. You're allowed to do a landing 3x4, but
Okay.
Just that. Okay.
We're just going to be replacing the existing stairs where they were because that structure isn't holding up well.
Okay, good. Amy, is there anybody in the public that has any questions or raise their hand?
I'm reviewing the list. No hands are raised.
Okay, all right. Very good. All right, could I have a motion to close the public hearing for Birch Road, 30 Birch Road?
I so move.
Second,
A second.
any further discussion with regard to this? Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Oliver, we hopefully will have time to deliberate this tonight. You can check back on Amy said she's back in the office Monday. You can check with Amy on Monday to make sure it was or hang on, can watch us later on. But Joe's got to write it up after we deliberate. But we should be able to get to this tonight. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you. Just let me know if you have any other questions.
Yep. Best of luck to you. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Amy, is Dan Hill on the call yet?
I have not seen Dan yet.
I'm going to text him briefly.
Do you want me to be dismissed? Should I go?
Yeah, you're all set. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Good night.
While we're
Wish
waiting.
Wish
ahead,
they were
Doc.
all this easy.
Yeah, really. While we're waiting for Dan Hill, do everybody want to take a look, or has everyone had a chance to look at the August 19th meeting minutes? Don't everybody jump in at once.
Yeah, I'm good with them, Chris.
Okay. So could I have a motion to approve the August 19 meeting minutes of the Zoning Board of Appeals?
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great. All right. Amy, we don't have Dan yet?
No.
Okay. I sent an email, so hopefully he knows. All right, we'll jump down to,
Here he is. I'm letting him in the waiting room right now,
okay,
from the waiting room.
wasn't gonna let me any further, huh?
Dan's in now.
Okay, he's not up on the screen yet.
Oh, he's not.
There he is.
Okay.
You're late, counselor. You're on mute.
It's 7:17. I'm right on time.
All right.
You
the
have-
last-
You
when we-
you have
when
a
we last-
light, Dan, right in front of you. You have a light shining.
Yeah, let me try to turn that off.
I think Dan's being interrogated.
Oh, much better.
Here we go. All right, so we left off, Dan, we had approved the special permit, and you were actually going to clean it up and clean up the language. So do you want to bring the board up to date on the language of the comprehensive permit for Abbeville?
Sure. Does Amy want to put the decision on the screen? Does that make sense?
I can do it or Rich can do it.
I'll put it up. I already have it on the.
Yeah, okay. Hoping you see that.
Oops, wrong one. Can you see it?
I can see it.
You see it, Dan?
Yep.
Okay.
So the main changes were in section E, I believe. Can you scroll down to the sidewalk conditions? Yeah, there we go. All right, so I actually had a call with John Smolak, the lawyer for the applicant, and we talked about his proposed changes. So his first change here on section E1 was to add this additional caveat that the sidewalk goes on the northerly side of Lawrence Street. And I pointed out that that's already in there. It's on the fourth line, so we're all set. So we're not gonna include that change. And then if you can scroll down, Rich.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the next concept here was that Tom thought that if he started the sidewalk and it turned out that that easements were required, that he didn't feel that he had to pay the full 150 if he's already built half the sidewalk. And so I talked to him this afternoon about this, and I explained that, look, I don't think anybody wants you to start a sidewalk until we know for sure whether or not easements are required. Because that's putting everybody in a bad position. You know, the town doesn't want to be in a position where half the sidewalk is built, and then we go to a neighbor and saying, hey, we need an easement. At that stage, we don't have any leverage at all, and we'll be paying, you know, top dollar. So I discussed this with Tom, and we we came to the conclusion that it really doesn't make sense that Tom would even start the sidewalk until we knew for sure what exactly we needed to do in terms of easements or modifications. And he agreed to that. So this change is now coming back out. We're not going to accept this change. And the concept here is that Tom is going to give us a sidewalk plan, which is required under this condition. He says it's going to be filed at the same time as his revised plans, and he's expecting that to be done in maybe 5 or 6 weeks after the decision is issued. At that time, we have 60 days to look at the sidewalk plan with the DPW and then decide if it's acceptable or not, and also think about whether we need to have any easements or any modifications. After that 60-day period, we have to basically tell Tom how the town wants to proceed. And if the town chooses to proceed with easements, if they're necessary, then the town has a year to secure those easements. And Tom will just have to wait and not build a sidewalk until we get the easements. Hopefully, there aren't going to be any major changes to the plan, and hopefully we don't need to deal with easements. But that's there just in case as a contingency. So that's the concept, and the $150,000 payment would be only made if we can't work things out with respect to the design of the sidewalk and any required easements. So that's just there again as a backup. And there's no strings attached to that money. The town isn't bound to use that money for a Lawrence Street sidewalk, although that's certainly the objective. But that money would go into the sidewalk fund that's held by the town. So the bottom line is this change that John Smolak requested is now been withdrawn. And if you can scroll down, Rich, I think there's the next condition, I believe. No, I guess it's further down. Under open space, we have a new condition.
Oh, okay. Yep. Which is F. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, keep going.
Oh, this here.
Yeah, this is wordsmithing.
Okay.
This was John Smolak's edits to ensure that the intent here is that the open space, if it's held by the project's homeowner association, the open space is not going to be available to the public. The open space is only going to be available to the public if the town takes title to that property. And then scroll down. All right, section F6 right there.
Oops, sorry. Hold on.
Yeah, perfect. So this condition incorporates the concept that we discussed at the last meeting. If you recall, we talked about reserving a 10-foot wide strip over the project site in order to provide potential future access to the land that's in Franklin, the Acorn Woods Conservation Land, through the town-owned parcel that's on Lawrence. And if you can scroll down a little bit so you can see that map. Yeah, this is the map. So the parcel that's shown as parcel 6-11 is town property, and that fronts on Lawrence Street.
Mm-hmm.
The easement would be the line that's in blue, that's 260 feet long. That easement then connects to the land that's in the upper left-hand corner, which is green. That's the Acorn Conservation Land in Franklin. And then that land, as we discussed at the last meeting, is contiguous to the open space that's on the project site. So this basically just provides for future access. It doesn't exist today, but it provides for future access if the town or somebody else wants to build that out. So that condition, F6, requires the applicant to convey an easement over his property for that purpose. And that is the only additional substantive change to the decision. The rest of it was just wordsmithing and just standard editing.
Great, Dan.
And we talked
Anybody
about
have any other? Go ahead.
Sorry, just on the waivers, Chris, I cleaned those up as well. I don't know if you want to go through them or not, but there weren't any substantive changes to the waivers. from the last meeting, and John Smolak reviewed that as well, and he made a couple minor changes, minor edits that I don't think are worth discussing tonight. But so we should be in good shape with both the conditions and the waivers.
Right. And are you going to try to get a copy of that over to Amy tomorrow or Monday, Dan? Is that
Yeah.
your plan?
Yeah, we'll clean
Okay.
this up and ship this over to Amy.
Yeah, and that way Amy, you can let the board know hopefully by Monday, and we can set up schedule for people to come up and sign that. And I think we also have to sign the 144 as well.
Correct.
Right, I don't have that yet.
Okay, I think Dan's
Right.
going to do that. Okay,
Yeah, we can do
great.
that both at the same time because
Yeah.
I can put together both final drafts of the decisions. So when you guys come in to sign, you can sign both.
Great. All right. Anybody have any questions for Dan with regard to the wordsmithing and the F6 of the conditions? Joe?
No.
Mike?
All set, thank you.
Devin?
No questions.
Don?
No questions. I like that conveying the right of way there so that the lands can be, hiked and et cetera. I think that's great. And I appreciate that from Tom.
Josie, any questions? Any concerns?
No.
Jim?
No concerns. Just a comment on the easement. It's great to have the easement. I think before the easement document gets finalized, maybe somebody could go out there and just make sure that there's really actual practical access to that point. I don't know the lay of the land out there. Seems like Mr. DePosito was very cooperative, so if the easement was tweaked a little bit for reasonable access, he'd probably be willing to do that. So I don't know if someone could get out there, or Rich or someone could look at the lay of the land and make sure that the plan is practical, in that if we do get that easement, we could actually use the easement without, much work to the easement area. That's all.
Makes sense.
But the language is fine. I'm fine with the decision and the language.
Good. And Rich, you have no concerns or any questions, Rich?
No, I just wanted to offer just a little additional to this condition. I said to Tom this afternoon that I approached Janet to get on the Conservation Commission agenda for October meeting to go over this and advocate for this to become town open space. So in case you want to, any ZBA members wants to jump on that meeting in October, it's the 14th, but we'll be talking about it then.
Great. Okay, thank you. All right, thank you, Dan. Dan, I don't think we need to take another vote. I think we took a vote last meeting, so I think we're all set, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And you had a long night last night, finishing up for almost. All right. Thanks very much. I appreciate it. Have a good night. Okay. At this time, we have some unanticipated new business, which is a couple of administrative changes and extensions of special permits. I guess we have to 35 Leland Road and 10 Old Populatic Road. The board has to approve the administrative change and extension of these two special permits. Rich, do you want to give us a little update on the reasoning why we are doing that at this point?
Sure. I do see Don's hand. Is that really this or something?
Just had a quick question. Did we actually vote yes to grant?
Yes, we
Amy?
did.
We did.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Sure. So 35 Leland Road and 10 Old Populatic, their permit, the 1-year time frame on the special permit is about to expire in the beginning of October. So the bylaw does allow for extensions for special permits to be granted without a hearing. So the request is to the board to vote to grant a 1-year extension for both of those special permits. And then if the board does vote, and I can share on the screen if you want to see just the draft letter. Does that make sense, Chris? Or
Sure. Go ahead.
Hold on a second. So
Your 5 minutes in the sun.
big enough. That's the wrong letter, but hold on a second. It might be 5 minutes. The computer's slow. Where the heck is it? All right, where's it on this list? Oh, here it is. Sorry. So this is 35 Leland. We're going to ask the board to do the same for 10 Old Populatic, but you see, good catch, Amy. So this should say right here, September 16th, 21. To grant the 1-year extension for the house. The request was to tear down the existing house and construct a new single-family home. So I want to be able to, hopefully the board act to vote these extensions. In turn, we'll, if Joe could sign them, we'll provide them to the building department, and they will be able to issue, for this one here, Mr. Gilmore's permits to move forward with his new home.
Great. While we have that on the screen, could I get a motion to approve the extension of the special permit for 35 Leland Road until September 16, 2021?
So moved.
We have a second.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All right, this will be a roll.
Who seconded that?
Don Hanson.
Okay.
Be a roll call vote. This is a motion to grant for 35 Leland Road. Mike Kaliza,
Yes to grant.
Don Hanson,
Yes to grant.
Devin Howe,
Yes to grant.
Joe Sebastiano,
Yes to grant.
and Christopher Weeder, yes to grant. Amy, can you put up the one for 10 Old Populatic Road? Or don't we have one?
No, we don't have a letter. It's just gonna wait. I was
Okay.
gonna make sure all the language is okay.
Nope. So could I get a motion to extend the special permit for 10 Old Populatic Road till September 16, 2021?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Second.
You weren't quick enough, Mike.
Yeah.
Any
Don
further,
wins that gunfight.
no, any further
I
discussion?
think I beat John.
All right, we don't have any. So this again will be a motion to grant the extension of special permit. Mike Kaliza,
Yes to grant.
Don Hanson,
Yes to grant.
Joe Sebastiano,
Yes to grant.
Devin Howe,
Yes to grant.
Christopher Weeder, yes to grant. Okay, very good. We've taken care of those. All right, and I think we have enough time this evening to deliberate 30 Birch Road. So why don't we work on that? All right, we want to do some findings of facts here.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the property's at 30 Birch Road, Norfolk, right?
Correct.
The building project will not alter the current footprint of the house in relation to the zoning setbacks. So it'll be it will not be any more non-conforming than it is today. Correct?
Correct.
The renovations for building the second floor for a livable second floor space.
Correct.
Looking for the dimensions one more time. Should we cite the dimensions?
Yeah, you can reference it, sure. I mean, the structural footprint and the proposed and the new, the structural footprint was 841 square feet before. Now it's going to be 883 square feet.
Right. And just one clarity on the bedrooms. He was creating or not creating another bedroom?
No, it's a 2-bedroom, which I assume means he has a 2-bedroom septic system, and therefore
Right.
he has to keep it as a 2-bedroom.
Yeah,
Yes,
so he's creating this laundry room, right?
Correct.
Okay, got it. So he's creating a laundry room on the second floor?
First floor.
On the first floor.
Yeah.
Anything else anybody picked up on?
It's been owner occupied since 2016.
I don't have the plans in front of me. The height does not exceed our height restrictions, right?
No.
I did not look at the height measurement. Forgot that.
Nope, it does not, John. Okay.
We didn't specifically read in the criteria. Do you want to go through that?
Yeah, we will.
Okay.
This is where I get to pick on Amy and Rich. Amy and Rich, Appendix Bs. We got to start cleaning these up. They look like they're being written by 3rd graders. All right. So could you please ask applicants to fill them out and not chicken scratch on the sides and all kinds of other stuff? because they actually become part of the permit. So could you guys work on that?
Sure. Let's,
All right. Rich, if
Amy,
you,
Amy knows what I mean. Okay, so the use is in harmony with the purpose and intent of the bylaw. The proposed addition will not alter the footprint of the building and is in harmony with the general purpose of the bylaw. Number two, the use of the appropriate location is not detrimental to the neighborhood and does not significantly alter the character of the zoning district. It's a residential single-family neighborhood. Addition of a second floor will not alter the characteristics of the neighborhood. There are other two families, and he mentions that the residents across the street will be consistent with characteristics of design for this project. Number three, adequate and appropriate facilities provided for the proper operation of the proposed use. Adequate and appropriate facilities provided for the appropriate operation of the proposed use. And all the above is correct, he notes. The proposed use would not be detrimental or offensive to the adjoining zoning districts, the neighboring properties due to the effects of lighting, odor, noise, sewage, refuse materials, visual, or other nuisances. And there is no detrimental effects. The proposed use would not cause undue traffic congestion. There's going to be no increase in traffic to the project. Only 2 to 3 vehicles will be used during framing, approximately 45 to 60 days. And then after that, finished work will only be 1 to 2 vehicles. So it's very nice to identify the number of vehicles coming and going during construction. A proper site plan has been filed for approval to the planning board, and the proper number of copies submitted with the application for a special permit to the Board of Appeals. Yes, the proper plans have been submitted. The use is consistent with the 1992 master plan and most recently updated. This is a residential single-family neighborhood. Addition of a 2-story is an addition is most recent. Yeah, I'm sorry. Addition of a second floor is consistent with the most recent updated master plan. So those are the criterias, even though in chicken scratch, I'm submitting. But Rich and Amy will work on that with future applicants. So we
yeah. All right. Yeah.
And Chris, for conditions, the usual about exterior lighting,
correct, right?
And then I guess because he's doing construction, the same thing about 30 days to remove any construction waste.
Yes, I think it's 30 days after occupancy permit. Is that what it is, or after? Because obviously during the construction he's going to have the dumpster there, so I think it's 30 days. Amy can verify that. I think it's 30 days.
Yeah, I'll get the typical wording for that.
Okay. Anybody else have any comments with regard to or finding of facts? Hearing none. All right. All right. Joe, do you want to make a motion to approve?
Yeah, I make a motion that we approve the special permit for, 1 second, let me just back up here for a second.
30 Birch Road.
Yes, I want to go back to the wording here. 1 second. I was looking at the other document for a second. Hold on.
Sure.
Okay, here we go. Come on, open up. Different screen. Hold on.
No problem.
Okay. All right. So I make a motion that we accept the special permit. We approve the special permit for the 30 Birch Road to 1 second. I'm missing this here.
Laughing, Mike.
I'm sorry, Chris. I missed. I closed the notice of hearing again.
That's all right. Take your time. Don has the next 4 hours blocked off for ZBA.
I can put it up for you.
Oh, you
Yeah,
want
you
to
know,
know-
that's the same. I'm sorry, Amy. That's the problem. I don't have the notice of hearing for this. I have the application and I have the agenda for tonight, but I never got the notice of hearing, so I need to have it on the screen again.
All right.
Sorry.
Not a problem. I know I put you on the spot, Joe.
No, that's all right. Could you just zoom, scroll down just a bit? There you go. All right. So I make a motion that we approve the special permit for 30 Birch Road for Oliver Geiger for the alteration or enlargement of an existing non-conforming structure which does not violate the setback coverage or height requirements of section E1B, but does not violate those requirements to a greater extent than the original structure.
Very good. Do we have a second to Joe's motion?
Second.
That was Mike, Amy. Any further discussion? Hearing none. So this is a motion to grant a special permit, section F4A of our Norfolk zoning bylaws. Mike Kaliza,
Yes to grant.
Don Hanson,
Yes, to grant.
Devin Howe,
Yes to grant.
Joe Sebastiano,
Yes to grant.
Christopher Weider, yes to grant. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And Amy,
Joe-
Amy, could you just send me a copy of the notice of hearing? I just don't have that for my file here.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
I have all the other documents, so.
Okay.
Rich, do you have any? Go ahead, Amy.
I just want to say, I mean, I know that the hearing was closed with no more testimony, but Karen McCabe had wanted to make one comment. She sent it to me in a chat. I don't know if we want to address it or not.
I think since the hearing is closed, we're not going to take any more comments with regard to that Abbeville project.
Good.
All right. Rich, do you have anything else for the board?
No, not for this evening.
Okay. We obviously are not going to do any, I know we have on the agenda board membership and reorganization. We're not going to do that yet, but over the next couple of weeks, maybe a little longer, a couple of our members are going to be moving on, Don Hanson and Devin Howe, but they're going to stay with us for a little while longer. But if Rich or Amy or anybody out there in the audience, maybe Karen McCabe, Sandra Myatt, are interested in maybe joining the ZBA, we might have some openings for some associate members. So we welcome some of the public to get involved in town government. And I think the ZBA is a great place to learn. Anybody else have any comments with regard to that? Mike?
Nothing at this time.
Okay. All right. Then at this time, I would ask for a motion to close the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for September 16, 2020 at 7:42 p.m.
I so move.
We have a second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Have a good night, everybody. Thank you very much. Good job.
Thank you, Chris.
Good night.
Night.
Thank you.
All right.